On paper where the story's told, facts and truth, the legend grows. Lionheart's here with fire to spit. It's on paper with Anthony Smith.
With Anthony Smith.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the On Paper podcast, brought to you by Black Buffalo. Also, randomly, I ran into JD, one of the owners of Black Buffalo. We got to hang out a little bit at the fights last weekend.
Nice.
And then he stayed, went to the Contender Series. So it was cool to hang out with my my Black Buffalo brethren. It was a good time. But I also see you wearing our guy Hudson's comfort sweatshirt.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. It's about comfort season too. I can't wait to start busting my sweatshirts out.
Oh, it is. It's, because you could wear sweatshirts all year round, but these are weighted because of, the whole anxiety and whatnot. That's Hudson's story. So you kind of have to wait until it's cold enough.
For sure.
And it's been hot as all hell, at least on Long Island still through mid-October.
Yeah, it's crazy how warm it still is. What's been going on? What'd your weekend look like? Did you do anything fun?
No, you'd be really proud. It was very wholesome. I stayed in all weekend. Did a little bit of a Sunday fun day yesterday for football, but
I was going to say you were sober all weekend.
Was home by 8 p.m. But Friday night, Saturday night, stayed in, watched the first two Batman movies. So I think old Kelly's growing up.
Or you're running out of friends.
I'm not running out of friends. I was with my friends, just being wholesome. I'm a month out from being 28. Getting old.
Wow, you are getting old.
I know.
Damn.
Dusty.
Dusty.
How are you? You didn't work this weekend. You just home chilling? What's going on?
Yeah, no, I was home this weekend. And then Saturday afternoon, Adley and I and Maisley and Matt went to Des Moines for the National Corn Cob Classic.
Oh. Very Des Moines name.
Very, very Des Moines. It's a big ass wrestling tournament. And so we wrestled. We weighed in Saturday at like 6 and then hung out. We went to a really dope barbecue spot, kind of like right by the arena in downtown Des Moines. And then the girls, we all came up to our room. So the girls played, and me and Matt watched some football and had a couple beers and just hung out where the kids played. Got them to bed halfway early and got up bright and early, like 6:30 to start wrestling.
All right, so you had a wholesome dad weekend yourself.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
You are old. I'm just getting there.
Yeah, a little bit.
How'd the girls do? How'd they wrestle?
I mean, I don't want to brag or anything, but we left with a first place trophy and a second place medal. Pretty
Starting
badass.
the season hot.
Yeah. Little Adley's killing it. She hasn't been beaten in a while.
She's not gonna know what loss feels like anymore.
I know it. I know. And Maisley, man, she wrestled her ass off. She had a monster bracket. It was so tough. Bunch of like Tulsa Nationals placers, just some really, really high level girls in her bracket. And she lost to the best one, but they do Madison brackets sometimes with girls. So she actually had to wrestle everybody in her bracket.
Oh.
So it wasn't like a tournament bracket style. They just wrestle everybody. And she only lost to the one girl, the best girl in the division. Probably one of the better girls in the country at that age division. Lost to her with pretty formidable performance, in my opinion. I thought she wrestled really tough. Was really proud of her afterwards. And then beat everybody else. Stuck a really tough chick too. She pinned this really, really good girl that's actually local to here. So it was good. It was huge. I rode a high the whole drive back. Those two have just been killing it together.
The long car rides are always better when you're winning.
Oh, for sure.
The ones after a loss are probably like, ugh.
Yeah, those are tough. It's been a while since we've done that though. That's the fun part. I don't know. It's probably about time Adley takes one, but yeah, it's good. It's good. We had a good time. We had a great time. I
love it.
Alani's birthday was on the 6th. So
how was that? What'd you guys do?
I got a 4-year-old. We just did birthday stuff here at home. And then she got a big birthday party tomorrow. That's when it just worked out for everybody.
Birthday party on a Tuesday. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have what do 4-year-olds have to do on the weekends is any different than the weekdays?
It's a great point. It's all the same.
It's all the same. Yeah. It's 10
My mom's
4-year-olds.
birthday's tomorrow.
Is it?
It is.
It's weird that your mom is younger looking than you.
That's very kind. You were too nice to me the first 5 minutes of this
I was.
episode. I knew it was coming.
Yeah, it was coming. Will you tell Miss Jackie I said happy birthday?
I absolutely will. We've got a lot to get into today. Bunch of fight announcements just
Mhm.
came down the pipe, courtesy of Dana White. Some fights over the weekend. 2 fun guests we're gonna have today. So let's get right into it. I want to talk about Charles do Bronx Oliveira, or he's going by the Predator these days, I believe. Um, Big win in Brazil over Mateus Gamrot. He just looked like he wasn't going to take a loss for an answer because Gamrot looked good on the feet, but that didn't stop Charles from coming forward. And then, as formidable a wrestler as Mateus Gamrot is, the ground is just not a place you want to be with Charles Oliveira. Second
No,
round sub.
I think he overperformed my expectations. I thought he looked fantastic. I thought that Gamrot was going to do a little bit better on top, like just staying safe and kind of sticking Charles. But
Mhm.
Charles did such a good job of never really settling the position. He was just attacking from the second they were down there, and it just forces a guy who's such a dominant wrestler like Gamrot to constantly defend. Well, if you're constantly defending, you're not so focused on being positionally sound. Um, Charles Oliveira he's such a case study for me because you'll see performances like the one with Gamrot or Chandler or the flashes at the beginning of the Poirier fight, and like he just has moments of greatness. The Beneil Dariush fight, like where he's just perfect. And then he every once in a while he has these hiccups with kind of the better guys in the world, your Islams and Toporius. But even at the beginning of those fights, he looks different.
Mhm.
Like you could see it. Like as soon as that fight started with Gamrot, you're like, oh yeah, Charles is going to roll through this dude because he just has a different look in his eyes. He's got a different swag, a different presence, and I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, and some of that is Topuria, and that's Islam, and they have a different presence and a different aura about them, and so it does look different there because of the level. But the best guys in the world can kind of create that with anybody, and of course Charles is one of the best guys in the world, but for some reason he has a different swag when he's in front of different people. And I understand, and as a fighter, I understand that because there's some fights you take that may be more dangerous than others, but for some reason you feel differently about that one. Like Jimmy Crute, I almost can't recall really worrying too much about him. I just felt differently about him. I think he was more dangerous than some of the other people that I fought,
Mhm.
and more dangerous than people that I was really worried about. But I don't know. There was something about him that didn't bother me. It didn't. And so like, I think you see the difference in the fight. Like I already had it won in my head when I first got in there.
That's
And I
so
see,
interesting because, to be honest, I remember when that fight got announced
mhm.
and we were all still working on Sirius XM, and I was talking to Jimmy Smith about it, and he did not like the matchup for you. A lot of
Most
people
people
didn't
didn't. Yeah,
at
most
that
people
stage in
didn't.
your career, and at that stage in his career, he looked like the budding up and comer, and you were kind of at like a little bit of a crossroads, and a lot of
Mhm.
people didn't like that matchup for you. So it's
My management
interesting
team
to
didn't
hear
like it
how
either.
yeah, it's interesting to
Like
hear how confident you were.
when they brought it to me, they were like, "Man, we think this is a no, but we know how you are, so we have to bring you the opportunity and you make the decision." Well, I've never said no, but there's some I pause at. We're like, oh,
Sure.
fuck. Yeah, okay, and then you take it. But and I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on Jimmy because I got a lot of love for that guy. But even like Petrino, I never worried about Petrino. He never even really crossed my mind. Like they send the name, I looked him up. Why they sent the name, I said yes. I looked him up, I said, all right, cool. And I just went on about my business. I went to training camp and never really thought about him, didn't really bother me. And then we just did the thing. But I think you've seen the same swag in that fight. I don't know what it is. There's just something mentally about fighters that you just see something different than everybody else sees. And there's some guys that I was really worried about that I shouldn't have been. And so the mental part of it, I think, for Oliveira is what's fascinating. He's such a case study because he always shows up. He's always exciting. He always brings those I don't know, the pillars of what you can expect in a Charles Oliveira fight. He always brings those things. But sometimes he has this different mentality. Like he was not going to lose to Beneil Dariush. He just wasn't. He was not going to lose to Gamrot. He just some people he just rolls through.
Well, I think, like you said, it's matchup dependent, and there's a lot of layers to it.
But it starts with how you feel about it initially.
Absolutely, and you go against guys like Islam Makhachev and Ilya Topuria, look like just unbeatable world beaters. There's no real blueprint laid out on how to beat those guys, and the stakes are really high. They were for titles, both of those fights. Guys like Mateusz Gamrot and Beneil Dariush, Justin Gaethje, they've been beaten. So I just think it's matchup dependent. It's location dependent. Obviously, Charles was in his
Yeah,
backyard this
that's
past
fair.
weekend, and he is a hero there. So there's a different reception from the crowd, and he can feed off of that. I think there's a lot that goes into it, especially with a guy like Charles.
Yeah, no, I think you hit it right on the nail on the head right there. I think location matters,
Mhm.
but I also think it matters. Does Charles think he can? Does Charles believe he can beat them? That's what it comes down to. And you could almost see it from the very beginning of those fights. Like, oh, he's here.
Mhm.
He's here, and he is expecting to win, not hoping that he's good enough or not hoping that he gets an opportunity. You know, like I think that's the difference. And again, that's fighters. That I'm not telling you guys anything that's a secret. I guess I'm just digging deeper into it. But I couldn't have been happier for him. You know, I feel for Gamrot because he's taken the tough road. He doesn't have the most exciting style in the game.
Yep.
Really, really skilled fighter. He's got a lot of great attributes. He's got a lot of things that I envy, but not a style that's fan friendly. It's not sports entertainment friendly. It's not drawing. So he's always going to have the tougher route. And, you know, he's going to be a guy that's going to have to win 8 or 9 in a row, like Bilal, to get himself into a title shot. And so now that all starts over again. He's not super young. I believe I think they're the same age. So he's not saying he's coming to the end of his career, but he's running out of time. So 8 fights at, 2 or 3 fights a year. We're looking at 3 or 4 years. That's a tough ask, So yeah, I do feel for him, because I'm a fan, but happy for Charles because he wears his emotions on his sleeves. And so you almost feel with him. Like if he's happy, you're elated. If he's sad, you're just as sad. So, and I think that's the attraction to Charles Oliveira is he lets you in on how he's feeling no matter what. And he's not afraid to be emotional. He's not afraid to be like a little kid in a candy store, happy in front of the whole world. So he takes you along that journey with him. And I think that people relate to those things.
He doubled down on wanting to fight Max Holloway next for that BMF title. And I have to say, I love it. We don't have an Ilya Topuria fight announcement just yet. Got to imagine they're waiting for this ESPN deal to expire. They're going to, hold tight to their biggest stars and announce those fights when they switch networks. I think, and it's not just a biasness, I think it's going to be Justin Gaethje standing across from him in the octagon. Arman Tsarukyan's already booked against Dan Hooker in a little over a month. Have to imagine the winner of that fight, especially if it's Tsarukyan, gets the winner of the whatever the next Ilya Topuria title fight is.
You remember when I told you, no way Tsarukyan gets rebooked for a title, and you told me I was crazy?
Well, he didn't get rebooked for a title. He's fighting Dan Hooker.
That's what I'm saying. I said, there's no way that they're going to roll him right back into the title. They're going to make him fight again. And you said, no, he's the number 1 contender. They'll make him wait, but they're going to give him another one.
I don't know. I don't know if I said that.
I think you did.
I'm going to have to roll the tape.
You're going to have to, but I said
I thought it would be Justin Gaethje.
Because no, this is like right when it happened, right when the fight fell out with Islam, and then Islam moves up and then Topuria becomes a champion. Everyone's like, no, it's going to be Tsarukyan for sure. Like, no way. They're going to make him fight again. And that's just that's just how it goes.
That wonky history with the promotion and, pulling out of fights and whether it was the smartest thing to do or not.
You know what? And honestly, maybe for him, it is the best career move, especially if he goes in and beats Dan Hooker and looks great.
Yeah.
Then whatever. Like it's water under the bridge, and then you can say I took the hard road and I had to earn my spot, and now there's no argument. If he goes in and beats Dan Hooker, there's no argument at all.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine if Dan Hooker wins?
I love Dan Hooker.
Midlife crisis, tattooed, wild man with these fights in parking lots, like promoting parking lot fights, like. Oh man, like give him a title shot.
And the thing
if
is,
he beats Tsarukyan, give him a title shot.
I think they would. If
Yeah,
Sarukian's the
probably.
technical number one contender, Dan Hooker beats him. People love Dan Hooker. He's good on the microphone. He's outspoken. He has an exciting fight style. He's checking off the boxes for
He
somebody
is.
they would want in there.
Yeah, I'm for it. I'm for it right now. Like, pull the Sarukian fight, let him have it.
No, I honestly,
Just
I
because
agree.
it'd be fun. It'd be so much fun.
That's why I love Charles Oliveira calling out Max Holloway because
Love
both
that.
guys have losses to the current champion, Ilya Topuria, albeit Max's loss to him is at 145.
Mhm.
They both already have losses to him. Both have exciting fight styles. I would love to see the two of them fight for the BMF title.
Dude, no analysis
Actually, I don't give
needed.
a fuck. It's for the BMF title. I
Yeah, I
just
just want
want
to
to
see him
see them
fight.
fight.
Yeah, I just want to see him fight. No analysis needed at all.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
We now know the main and co-main for UFC 323 in December. Last card of the ESPN era. Let's start with the main event. It's Merab Dvalishvili taking on Petr Yan for the second time. If Merab successfully defends his bantamweight title, that will be the fourth time in 2025, which is just unprecedented.
What an absolute workhorse.
Mm-hmm.
What an absolute workhorse. And I get it. You're getting in and out of these fights uninjured because he's not doing anything. I mean, he's going to be sore and beat up or whatever, but he's not taking any damage. He's taking no big shots. And I can't even recall the last, the one body shot in the first O'Malley fight was the last big shot I can recall him taking where I thought he maybe was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. So he's taking zero damage. He's making crazy money. He's on a run. He's streaking right now. He's already beat Petr Yan. Why wouldn't you just start rolling through it? I mean, this Merab era is going to be something for the history books when it's all done. Like, we're going to look back on these times and we're going to talk, like, someday someone else is going to hold that title and they're going to win a couple title fights and they're going to defend a few times. And we're going to start comparing them to the Merab era. And then we're all going to have to come back in and say, no, this one was different though. And I'm excited to be able to do that and help etch Merab into the history books.
I completely agree. And he actually found out that the fight was official during his interview with Ariel Helwani.
Oh, he's full of shit. He's
Well,
known. He's full of shit.
No, it was that it was announced.
Right. Some fighters act like they're like, oh my God, that's crazy. Like you didn't already sign the contract. Come on, now,
Right.
bro.
No, he obviously knew the fight was going to be
Right.
happening. It was just announced during his interview.
Which is so cool.
Co-main event on that card, we are going to get Alexandre Pantoja defending his title against the budding star Joshua Van, coming off his win over Brandon Royval.
Yeah, I'm in. You know, I obviously Brandon is a friend, but I thought Josh Van looked absolutely incredible in that fight. It was one of the better fights I've seen in a long time. It was action-packed, high volume. Brandon Royval took some bombs. I thought that Josh Van looked really cool, calm, and collected under pressure from a guy that's really hard to fight, who's awkward but fights with a really high pace, a lot of pressure, kind of like a zombie at times. So I thought he was really, I don't know, he had a really mature performance under those circumstances. And Pantoja needs somebody fresh. He needs somebody new. I think we want to see a new face on a poster. Is Josh Van there yet? I don't know, but I know for a fact that he had the luxury of knowing right away that he was next right after that fight. So whatever deficiencies or holes they decided that they, I don't know, needed addressed, that they've had a long time to do that. So I don't doubt we're going to get the best version of Josh Van. I'm going to always lean towards Pantoja because he's been so dominant. Yeah, he's been so dominant. It's hard to really envision anybody beating him right now, especially if he doesn't like respect you. Like, he didn't respect Kai Kara-France at all. There was nothing respectful there. He just didn't give a shit about Kai, and it was very apparent. And if he feels like that about Josh Van, it's hard for me to believe that he doesn't get out of there with a win. But I like Josh Van a lot, so I want him to have I don't really care who wins, but I do want Josh Van to have a performance he can be proud of. If that ends in a win, great. If it ends in a loss, I hope that he just performs to the best of his abilities.
Completely agree. And is he the guy to beat Pantoja? I don't know, but maybe it's a right place, right time situation for him.
Could be, yeah.
On that December 6th card, also Henry Cejudo taking on Peyton Talbot.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Didn't know you were back in action December 6th. We've got Jan Blachowicz taking on Bogdan Guskov.
Yeah, that's interesting. Let's go Blachowicz.
Brandon Moreno taking on Tatsuro Taira,
Ooh,
also on the December 6th
that's a
card.
fun one.
We've got Chris Duncan taking on Terrence McKinney.
I love a Terrence McKinney fight.
How could you not?
They're always exciting.
Always, and
In win or loss.
usually not very long either.
No, they're quick ones. Don't grab a beer at that time.
And this is the one, correct me if I'm wrong, that I think is going to grab your attention. This comes from Hunter Campbell. It will be Sean Brady taking on Michael Morales. That's going to be at UFC 322, Madison Square Garden.
Yes, let's go.
Inject it.
Inject that. Yeah, that's a big one. That's great for Sean Brady if he can get a win over Michael Morales. That's a big feather in his cap. It's an up and comer that nobody wants to fight. I watched that dude fight Gilbert Burns live, and I was like, wow, this dude is good and big for the weight class, which is going to help him versus Sean Brady. Not to mention, very, very, very good wrestler. He doesn't use his wrestling game, but he has some, he's got some favorable wrestling accolades. He does very well in the wrestling, and I've heard some stories about him in the gym with some really, really good wrestlers, and people he's getting takedowns on really good dudes and stopping takedowns from really good dudes. So Sean Brady will be a little bit in trouble if he can't get a takedown.
I do want to give props to Sean Brady because he is in that welterweight division where there's a couple of guys there, him included, who could very well be fighting for the title right now. He takes on a dangerous Michael Morales, and Sean Brady's coming off a submission win over Leon Edwards. Like,
yeah, but if you're
props to him for taking this.
If you're Sean Brady, I will give him props for it just because I'm a fighter and I know what kind of dangerous fight this is, and I know how dangerous this could be to your career.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're just being honest, and I think Sean Brady would agree with me, he doesn't have the X factor that makes him stand above everybody else.
Agree.
His skill set is insane, but it's largely grappling based. Which with the right opponent is crazy exciting. Like him and Gilbert Burns, fire fucking fight. Insane fight, because like us grappling nerds and even your casual fans can see that there's something high level happening here. And the scrambles and I was glued to my TV. Absolutely glued to it. But it's matchup dependent if it's exciting. Like the Leon Edwards fight, not that exciting because he kind of just dominated him, smothered him, and submitted him. So he needs something to make him stand above everybody else. If everybody's created equal, we're talking him. Who are the other top guys at the top of the division? So we have him,
Ian Machado Gary, Shavkat Rachmanov.
Who am I missing? I keep missing somebody.
Let's see.
It doesn't matter. Anyways, if you have all of those guys and they're all about even, Ian Gary will stand out.
I will say we were forgetting about the former welterweight champion, Bilal Muhammad, right up there.
We can't forget about Bilal. The number one contender. But he's got a fight coming up. But him and Sean Brady are kind of in the same spot.
Absolutely.
And Bilal even less so, to be fair, because he's kind of developed this media personality. He's got a YouTube channel, if you guys haven't checked it out.
Whether you like him or not, he puts himself out there.
He does. He tries. Whether you like him or not, he's out there. So
yep.
I guess I'm trying to tiptoe around this because I like Sean Brady. He's actually a lot of fun to be around. But his media personality is not there. He's quiet. He likes to hang out at his house. Apparently, he rips four-wheelers and ATVs all the time, but very quietly by himself. He doesn't post a whole shit ton about it. He obviously loves to get tattooed, and he likes to kick it with his wife. That's all he does. He trains. That's it. He'll skip regular shit just to go to train. So, which is something to be respected for sure. But it's not begging people. It's not having people beg the promotion to put you in a title fight. Mm-hmm. So how do you stand above everybody else if you maybe don't have the want or desire or ability to elevate yourself like a Ian Gary, or you don't have an entire nation behind you? Like who did Sean just fight? God damn it.
Who did Sean just fight?
Who did Sean just beat? God damn it. Leon Edwards. If you don't have a whole nation behind you like Leon Edwards, you got to have something. So you got to fight killers, and you got to put in performances versus people that are like you. Michael Morales has got a lot of hype right now. He's got a lot of heat behind him. You go beat that guy, make it look easy, then now people start talking about you. So he understands what position he's in.
And I think it's a good matchup for Sean Brady too. There's very few people in that division that aren't good matchups for him.
Hmm.
So, we'll see if Michael Morales can prove otherwise. But I like this fight for Sean.
It's a great fight for Sean. It really is. Because he only really needs one. He only needs one takedown. Michael Morales has got to defend the entirety of the fight. He's got to make sure that he stays off the ground, which is stressful. Sean Brady needs one. Even if he doesn't get a finish with that one, he's gonna wildly zap Michael
Well,
Morales' gas tank, and
exactly.
then
And
they're
when
all
that's
easier
always in
after
the
that.
back of your mind and you're worried about
Yeah,
defending,
and it changes the way you strike.
you
Like
can't let your hands go.
you
You're
can't,
certainly
right?
more
He,
cognizant about what you're doing because you don't want to give up
Michael
position.
Morales is going to be significantly hindered in his striking ability in this fight. Whether he wins or not, you're only going to see a small percentage of what he's capable of because he has to always think about the takedown, which is huge. That's the beauty of having such a dangerous ground game. You can have something that doesn't even need to be used, and it's an effective tool. Like the threat of a takedown is almost as good as getting one
Absolutely.
if your striking is up to par.
Absolutely.
It's fascinating.
All
It's a fun
right. We
fight.
got to start rolling the guests in. 2
Let's get him
guests
in.
coming up first. Aiemann Zahabi. So let's bring him in.
All right, everyone. Let's welcome in Aiemann Zahabi, who's going to be fighting in Vancouver this weekend. I couldn't be more excited to be flying out to Vancouver to work this event, and your fight's one of the ones I'm looking forward to. How are you?
Awesome, man. Thank you. And I really appreciate you having me back on.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. I enjoyed the conversation, so I figured if I could get some time, we'd have another one.
Yeah.
So, Chito
Yeah.
Vera, the perennial pain in the ass for the entire division, man. He's such a tough dude, iron chin, good grappling, crazy cardio. What do you see when that name, or what do you think when that name comes across, and then that's the guy they want you to fight?
I was happy because I asked for him after I won when I beat Aldo. I thought, like really feel like the better my opponent is, the better I fight. Because you when sometimes when you fight a lesser guy, you might fight less good. You might not- they don't bring the action out of you or whatever. So I kind of thought that if I called out Marlon, we'd put on a good show because I feel like half the battle is not only winning the fights because there are some guys that win and they win a lot, but they're not fan favorites or the UFC doesn't like the way they win. So so they have a harder path to the top, for example. And I feel like I gotta win the fights for sure. I'm out here to win. I'm out here to win, but I want to be out here looking good doing them. And I feel like Marlon's a good dancing partner for the reason that he's got a lot of experience and he's brought in a lot of great fights to the UFC.
Well, it's a great fight to have for you in Canada too. Like
Yeah.
I mean, you lit up the arena in the Aldo fight. So I think that it's a blessing and a curse. Now people are going to expect that you're going to have an exciting fight no matter what.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's great to have a good dance partner, but then to do it in Canada, that's got to feel good, right?
Yeah, it feels great. The crowd in Montreal went crazy when Aldo shot that double, and then I stuffed it, and I got on
Yeah.
top. I was throwing the elbows. It was a wild night. I want to say thank you to all the Montreal fans, Quebecois, Canadian, everyone who came from all over the world. It's the best moment of my life. You guys really, you really supported me that night, and it was a great feeling. Thank you guys so much, and I hope to repeat something like that without getting rocked this fight, without getting dropped. And Marlon's a really dangerous guy, so I know this fight's gonna be tough. I don't want it to be a battle of attrition, but if it has to be, I want to be the last man standing.
I love that, man. I love that. Did you feel any difference after the Jose Aldo fight? Like maybe in your profile and in your popularity, maybe some social media stuff. Was that a palpable difference that you could feel?
Yeah, huge difference. Like it really like elevated me to a status where like I went to vacation in Vegas and walking down the streets in Vegas or at the hotels, people were stopping me. They're like, "Did you just beat Aldo?" I'm like, "I just beat Aldo." We're taking pictures, and then when I came back to Montreal, like I was getting stopped everywhere we go. Like now, like my kids, like they're realizing, oh man, that is popular now. Like everywhere I go now in Montreal, it's nice. People saw the fight, people recognize it. People can't believe how I survived the drop and came back and won it, and they're all proud of my heart. So it's like it's almost like you can win a lot of fights, but people really respect it when the mountain is massive and the difficulty is huge. Because I took on the risk of the 8 pound weight miss, and I got dropped, and all those things that happened. So it's kind of like almost like, why would I be worried about adversity? Why would I be worried about the difficulty increasing? It's actually it's everything I dreamed of, is to beat the harder guys. It's to beat the toughest guys. So I'm very excited about this weekend because Marlon is a test. Like I know Aldo's he's 2-time world champion, but defended his belt 5-6 times. It's like 8-time world champion, and Marlon's never really won the belt. But it's a different type of test. He's a different pace. He's a hard hitter. He knows how to finish fights. He never gets tired. Like when I was accepted the fight against Aldo, we saw a route to break him, whereas with Marlon, it's much harder to break. It's more like a Pedro Munoz. So you got to be careful not going for the kill too much. So it's kind of like a different fight. You gotta find a way to beat him differently than you could beat a guy like Aldo. So it's
Man,
a different type of
go ahead.
test. Sorry.
No. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just thinking, because I seen the difference in your popularity just from like the media side of it. And I remember just telling people like that guy deserves that. Like he did a really hard thing. But not only that, I think everyone knows your brother and everyone attaches that to like Rory or GSP and everything is so clean and so technical and it's so the fight IQ part of it is that's the thing that's always stood out with that group of people. And then forever you're just winning fights and you had very much like the same qualities, really, really smart, high fight IQ, really clean boxing, and just really stuck to a game plan. Like, and then out of nowhere, you pull this dog out that nobody knows is there.
Yeah.
And it's just like you take all of the things that are kind of attributed with like a tri-star athlete or your brother or GSP or like whatever's attached to that. And then you add like that Rory McDonald type of dog. And then those two things come together. And that's where that popularity and that people are drawn to people that can overcome adversity like that. Because I think even when you're watching a fight and things are going really badly and you start to see someone overcome it, even if it's just systematically one step at a time and you see the gap getting closed, I think people attribute that to like regular life sometimes. I think that's why fighting is so popular. Like, look what this guy is doing. I can deal with this bullshit here at home. And then I believe that's why people get drawn to fights or fighters that have performances like you, because I think you become relatable, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. That's exactly how I feel after the fight. And I really feel like, because I don't really have a lot of athleticism. Like I don't jump high. I can't lift weights that are very heavy.
Me either.
I don't run fast. I have, like average level physical attributes. But like you're saying, I worked on my mind. I'm hardworking. I'm determined. I'm disciplined. I feel like discipline carried me a lot of the way. And like that Jose Aldo moment was kind of like me showing the years of growing that iceberg under the water. And now they finally saw the tip of it. Like I finally broke through a little bit. And I'm finally getting my flowers in a sense. And I feel like you're right. And I didn't get that until people saw the dog in me, because I'm associated with my brother and GSP and TriStar and all that. Everyone kind of thinks it's nepotism that got me to where I am, but I fought the fights and it took me beating, one of the greatest of all time
The hard
to be
way.
able to prove the hard way, the way, people wanted to see. To prove that it's not nepotism, man. I'm actually there's something here. There's something here.
It's almost like everyone got what they wanted, because everyone wants to see like a vintage Jose Aldo performance, but they also want to see like the other guy break through. It's kind of like everyone got both things at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, there was a funny tweet by, I think it was Moicano. He said, we saw Old Testament Aldo after round one. He's like, we're seeing Old Testament Aldo, which I thought was, I'm like, yeah, well, 40, the featherweight Aldo has a lot more output than bantamweight Aldo. Right. So he was fighting, like, if you look at the stats, the output he did was in line with his featherweight fights, not in line with his bantamweight fights. When he fought in bantamweight, he had much lower output because the weight cut, it wears on you. I know we spoke about it the last time. Yeah, so it's kind of unique, my win, because I was the only bantamweight who beat the featherweight Aldo. The other ones who beat him at featherweight were featherweights.
I love that. Okay, so you're number 7. You rank number 7.
Nine.
Or no, number 9. Number 9.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chito's number 7.
Yeah, exactly.
You're number 9. Chito's number 7. With obviously with the announcement of Petr Yan fighting Merab at the end of the year for the title, which is wild. This Merab's 4th title fight this year, which is absolutely insane. But part of the positive of Merab being so busy is he's kind of chipping away and knocking down the guys that are ahead of you guys. So, a win over a number 7 Chito puts you in a pretty favorable position, maybe one away from a title fight. Is that how you see it as well?
I see it. We're close, baby. We can almost taste it. Obviously we gotta get past Marlon. He's a real test and everything. But this division could break a certain way, and in 2026, I might be challenging for the belt. That'd be incredible. Obviously, dream come true for me. I'd be super excited about it. I would love it. I'd give everything I have. Just like I said for the last time, I was gonna fight with my whole heart. I'm gonna do that again this weekend, and I feel like things might break a certain way. You just never know how it comes. It was funny because
Yeah, it
I
could
got a
be
little bit.
next.
That
It
could
could
be
be
next,
next if
man.
it's crazy. You could
It's
be.
good. And somebody gets injured. Let's say it's somebody else, but they get injured, and I'm not, and I'm
Right.
ready. You know, I remember one time TJ Dillashaw fought a guy on 24-hour notice, man, because he was on the same card and his opponent got injured, and the guy fought for the belt out of nowhere.
Was
I
it
think it
Henan
was
Barao?
no, it was, I don't know who he was fighting. I think it was Joe Soto who got it.
Oh, that's right. It was Joe
Yeah,
Soto. Yeah,
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 and
yeah,
he
yeah,
went
yeah.
4.5 rounds, or maybe 4.5 rounds with TJ. TJ finished him like at the very end.
Right. I do remember that.
That's one thing that's I love about the UFC is that you never know, one night could change your whole life.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
it's interesting. It's interesting being in the UFC. I love it. Honestly, it's the best promotion there is.
Do you allow yourself to, not that I'm trying to drag it out of you, but
Yeah.
I think fighters are different. Some fighters are really motivated by the positions they could be in after a fight, and it helps motivate them through the one that they're in. Some people don't want to talk about it or think about it. They just want to just deal with what's right in front of their face. Do you
Yeah.
allow yourself to look forward at all a little bit, or are you just focused on Chito only?
The problem with I feel like when I look forward, it creates like a little bit of like more anxiety than of just being here,
Hmm.
because then I'm taking my attention off what I feel like I can't get there without doing this. So I try not to plan too much. It's a nice thought. It's nice. It keeps me like excited and happy, and keeps my mind clear that, like, man, this is closer than people can give me credit for. People don't understand how close I am. I'm so close. So it's motivating. But I really got to get through Marlon, because I remember when people are asking me about the fighting in Montreal, they're like, "Aren't you super excited?" I'm like, "No, I'm not excited." It's actually the same as every other time, because it could be the worst night of my life, just like it can be the best night. Until
Right.
I live it, until we go through it, we don't know what's gonna happen. And I feel like the same thing about this Saturday. I gotta go out there and I gotta live it, and then once the fight's over, I can be excited about what's next.
You kind of brought it up there a little bit. It was one of my questions I wanted to ask you. The Canadian fans are just they're wild
Yeah,
in a great way.
yeah.
Like Brazilian fans are wild, but it's not always the greatest way. You get a little, you get nervous sometimes. Like French
Yeah,
fans are pretty educated and really into it and very loud, but they're all they're very French. They're very respectful. They kind of stay in their seats. They kind of hang out. But Canada is it's its own different beast. And I know we kind of had that period for a while where it wasn't as popular and there wasn't as many events there, but now it's really seemed to really fire back up again.
yeah.
Is there any added stress with just training and preparing for an event that's in Canada while you're in Canada? Obviously, it's not Montreal this time, but
Yeah.
is there added stress to that?
I don't mean to say, I don't like, I'm grateful to fight in Canada because this is my country and I want to develop my fan base here because these are my people for sure. But in the end, man, it's not the venue. It's mano a mano. It's me against my opponent. So that's the thing that really motivates me the most. And I had this funny conversation with my wife last week because I hadn't when I fought in COVID, she couldn't travel, right? Because during COVID, it was only the people working, whatever, blah blah. So she didn't come to my first fight during COVID, and I won, and I broke my losing streak. And then I won another fight after that during COVID, and she couldn't come. So I was like, "Hey, listen, you're not coming to any more fights because I'm on a hot streak." So the first fight she was allowed back was the Montreal fight because I hired the mindset coach and I got over my superstitions, right? And then so she's coming to this one. I'm like, now you can come to the fights, no problem. I'm not worried about the superstitions. And then last weekend, she asked me, she's like, "So are you excited that I'm coming?" I said, "Listen, I love you. Don't take this the wrong way. But
Don't make it weird.
whether you're there or you're not there, I'm only excited about fight night. The fight is what matters. You come, I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna fight my heart out. If I win, it's great. If you don't come, I'm gonna fight my heart out. If I win, it's great. You're not the focus. The focus is the fight. I can't have any other focus but the fight. I'm on vacation now. This is fight week. It's vacation week for me, and my reward is Saturday fighting in that octagon, and I can't wait to live it out. But it's my only week where I get to be selfish. Everything's about me. After this week, I'm back to normal.
That's a bulletproof mindset, man. That's
Thank you,
I don't
man.
and a lot of people did you so that with
She
you
took it well,
mentioned the
by the way. Just
mindset.
if you were wondering, she took
I
it
was
well.
just
She's
gonna
like, I
say,
totally understand. She's like, she's like, I'm with you. Anything you need, I'm there.
so did you have to develop that, or has that kind of always been in you? Well, Faraz always seems I've always enjoyed listening to Faraz talk pretty much about anything. I found myself listening to Faraz talk. I think it was to Rogan about nothing that had anything to do with fighting. It was just like a fascinating conversation. He's just an interesting person to listen to. But you talked about your mindset coach and having to overcome some superstitions. So is that like, have you always been super tough mentally, or has it always had to been something you developed?
Well, when I was undefeated, it was easy being super tough mentally. You never
For
tasted
sure.
defeat. That's the best of the best, right? But then that became like I ended up becoming arrogant, and I feel like that's why I lost. Like Ricardo Ramos, he threw the elbow for sure, but I became overconfident and I threw away my defense in a moment where I shouldn't. I should have still been cautious to a certain extent, you know. And Frost has always talked to me, talking about philosophy and things, and teaching me about my mindset. And George too always talks to me, adds things, And my mindset coach really, what he does is he created a system so that I'm always bulletproof. Because your mindset, when you don't have a system, goes up and down. Sometimes I'm super confident, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm bulletproof, sometimes I'm not. And sometimes when I get negative criticism from the coaching staff or whatever, it hurts my feelings. But now with mindset Mike, like nothing bothers me. I'm like I'm ready for anything, and I've come to the realization that even for this fight, for example, winning or losing doesn't even matter because if I win, the next fight is the biggest fight of my career, and the story is this such and such. If I lose, the next fight's still the biggest fight of my career because I got to fight for my spot. I got to make this happen. I got to make that happen, and so it's
Right.
like it's always the biggest fight. It's always fun. It's always what I want to do more than anything else. The 16-year-old me dreamt about being here. 37-year-old me ain't gonna let it go for free. I'm gonna be the dog, and then you're gonna rip it out of my hands. I ain't giving it up. So that's how I see it. And I feel like I've already won in the sense that as long as I'm always improving and getting better, I'm gonna fight my heart out. The outcome doesn't mean anything to me.
There we go. Is GSP going to be in your corner?
He ain't making it this time, man. This guy's
Oh, that's okay.
bombarded with charity events. He's got a charity event on Friday in one city, and he's got a charity event in another city on Saturday. So like when I
Wow.
had asked him to come to the fight, he's like, you got to tell me earlier. I'm like, earlier? We're 2.5 months away here, man.
That's how you know you're rich and famous. You're like, wow,
Yeah, he's
I got to
killing
go
it.
to work and do charity work. That's
Yeah.
well, good
He
for
was
him. Good
he
for
was
him.
almost gonna cancel it. I'm like, no, listen, don't cancel it, don't cancel it. Like, do your thing. I'm like, we'll try to get you on the next one.
There we go. All right, man. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. It's fight week. You guys are getting focused and getting ready to have some fun, man. Your energy is crazy high. You got me even more excited, man. I'm pumped up for you. I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait to be there. And shit, man. I guess I'll make sure that I run into you at some point in time this week.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you so much.
Warning: this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Black Buffalo products are intended for adults aged 21 and older who are consumers of nicotine or tobacco. If you're 21 or older and use nicotine or tobacco, it's time you charge ahead and join the herd with America's only credible smokeless tobacco alternative, Black Buffalo. Now available at thousands of best in-class retailers like Wawa, Circle K, Sheetz, Love's, Pilot, Racetrack, and more. Black Buffalo was established in America in 2015 to honor the ritual and tradition of dip without the tobacco leaf or stem. Black Buffalo's long cut and pouches are made of barn-cured leafy greens that dip and feel like traditional products, all with food-grade ingredients and USP-grade nicotine. You're in good company with the Black Buffalo herd. Brand ambassadors like MMA Hall of Famer Cowboy Cerrone, professional race car driver Ryan Blaney, and country music star Larry Fleet all proudly dip Black Buffalo tobacco alternative, an American brand built on authenticity and respect. If you're looking for a real dip experience, long cut or pouches, go to blackbuffalo.com to join the herd. Use their store locator to find a retailer near you or ship products directly to you in most states. Black Buffalo tobacco alternative. The future of dip, honoring the past. All right, everyone, I want to welcome Mark Vologdin to the On Paper podcast. And before I start, I just want to say that I wish we would have had more time after the show was over so that I could explain to the world that that was definitely one of the best fights I've ever seen in my whole career, and I've been doing this for 20 years. It was insane. What did it feel like while it was happening?
Brother, thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm feeling also very happy, and I did my best. I got the contract. I try to make exciting fight. Like I didn't give up. I just throw the punches, made the show. And I didn't think about damage, about nothing. I just wanted to be on fire. I like animal.
So, d- while that is happening, like when the fight ends, did you think that you still had a chance to get a contract?
Um, After the second round, I had this feeling, but it's very short time to think about this because I was so tired, and I tried to hear my corner, my coach, and I just keep working, and I didn't think like about the result.
So when I was watching your fight film and breaking you down to prepare for the fight, I just seen this really technical striker that managed distance really well, and you fought from the outside a lot, and you spin a lot because of your karate background, and it was just so clean and technical. And during the talking about your fight before it happened, what I kept saying was he's such a technical striker. He manages distance, and that's exactly how the first round went. I thought your boxing looked really great. Your kicks were there. You spun a few times. What changed between the first and the second? Because you almost finished him in the first.
Yeah.
What changed when you decided like we're just gonna fight?
Hmm. Usually this is my technique. This is my style. Like I try to don't get punches, to don't get kicks. Usually, I used to fight like this, and who spar with me, who knows me, they understand my style. But in the fight, in the second round. I don't know. He just he go forward. He tried to did pressure on me, and just I said, okay, let's go to make like street fight, because I don't know how it works, but I just stopped to follow the plan, I wanted to make the show because I start here like people like it, people scream, and I say, okay, now let's go, like get you following.
Does
Yeah.
does the format of the Contender Series, does that change how you think about the fight? Because you could have probably just kept your distance, kept picking away at the outside, but in the back of your head you have to know that maybe that's not what Dana White wants.
Yeah, I was thinking about this so much because maybe I could win, and I could like get easier way, but who knows? Maybe Dan White he didn't give me contract after this, and I don't know. I think this is the better fight. This is the better for contender because
Yeah.
you need to make show. You don't need just to win.
So when did you find out that Dana was going to give you got a bonus
Yeah.
and a contract for both of you guys? When did you find out? Were you like in the ambulance or already at the hospital?
No, I was in the room, like doctor's room.
Yeah.
They check me after the fight, and my friends was very close to this room, and I hear them. They started scream like, he got the contract, he got the bonus. And I try to understand. I try to hear the doctor, to try to listen the doctor, and listen the friends. It was like fucked up in my head, And after I saw my friend George Pilidis, he ran in the room
Yeah.
and he said, "You got the contract, yeah!" And I was so happy. And after him, Dana White, he came to me and he said very good words like about the fight, that it was one of the best fight in contender series, and he was like happy. I saw it, and it was like dream, like better than dream.
When I was watching, this is actually the first time this has ever happened to me. When I was watching the fight, I kept getting caught up just watching. And the producers kept saying, "Dude, you have to talk," and I was like, I don't even, I don't know, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
But during it, so after the fight's over, he wins the decision. I found myself like feeling so like I kept talking about you like a kid. Like I feel so bad for that kid. Like I remember like getting it almost through the third round and thinking, man, I wish we could just stop this shit. This is too much. Like it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Like what he's making, if he doesn't win, like it's just not worth it to me anymore. And I don't know if that's me getting old or if it was just that I don't seeing you pour your soul really out in front of the entire world it was inspiring, but it was also heartbreaking because then I was afraid that if like you didn't win, like then he's not going to get a contract, and it seems like that was all for nothing. So I had this wild, I don't know, celebration inside when Dana announced that, and I feel like everyone in the entire like building had the same thing because when he came on and announced it,
Mhm.
everyone went absolutely crazy. It was
Yeah.
crazy. Do you feel the difference, like social media wise and kind of popularity wise, since the fight?
Of course, I got a lot of messages. I got a lot of calling and crazy support. I got crazy support. First time in my life, I got so many messages from different people. From different countries, and I don't know what to say. Just I appreciate and thankful God for this. I'm
How's
very
your
happy.
how's your eye? Is it healing up okay?
Oh yeah, it's good. They did very good work.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks good.
yeah, almost done. I think in Friday they take out this.
Nice. Do you still want to fight in December?
I won't. I swear I won't. But let's see. Let's see. I want to start training, but everybody say to me like, "Hey,
Yeah, maybe take a break.
yeah, take a break." But in reality, I don't like this. I don't have nothing. I I always training, and I never stop training. And now I have so much time.
Yeah.
Very good that I have like time for interview for this stuff.
Hmm.
It makes me busy, But usually I just training all the days.
And you're in Sweden, right?
Yes.
In Stockholm?
Yeah, in Stockholm.
I fought in Stockholm at the Globe
Yeah,
one
I know.
time.
I know. In
It,
2019, I think.
yeah, 2019. It was a lot. I really like Stockholm a lot. It's a fun
Yeah,
city.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Crazy.
beautiful.
Beautiful city. Yeah.
And when did you move there? It been
In 2022, I moved.
and you just moved there by yourself. You didn't know any friends, no family, no nothing.
No, nobody, nobody. No. And I didn't know where I'm gonna live, nothing.
What did you do? So you flew over and then just figured it out?
Yeah, I decided to find some people who like high level people in Europe, right? And I knew about this gym, and I just moved there.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's crazy. It's I think it was the hardest how to say choice in my life, hardest choice. But now I'm thinking it was the best choice to move there because I made myself like more tough. I had tough time, tough life, and now I'm stronger than before.
It it seems like you I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like you purposely put yourself in really impossible situations, or like you almost bring on suffering
Yeah, yeah,
on purpose.
yeah. That's true. You know, because when I was in Russia, I wasn't. Okay, I had good life, not like rich, but good life. I train, I eat, sleep, like everything. But it was comfort zone, you know. And in comfort zone, it's very hard to go to develop. And
Right.
I decided to move, and it was the best choice.
Yeah. It seems like it. It seems like it's working out. All
Yeah.
right. Before I get you out of here, I'm sure you got a lot of other stuff to do. But there's been a lot of movement in your division lately, and Merab Dvalishvili is going to be defending for the 4th time
Yeah.
this year. As a young up and comer that's coming into the division, that's your division now. Is wild as that is probably for you to think about, but that's your division.
Yeah.
What do you think about kind of the top of the division, and Merab is your champion, and all of that stuff?
Yeah, every guy in this division is like dangerous, very dangerous people. This bantamweight is very dangerous in UFC, and they have good fighters like legends like Merab, Petr Yan, all of them. They are killers, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, but they still human. You can fight with them. And I'm only 25 years old, and I have time to develop myself. I still grow up, and I think in the future I'm gonna be better than them.
Perfect. Well, I hope at some point in time I get to call another one of your fights. Hopefully you block more punches this next time. But I'm really proud of you for your performance, man. It was an honor to be able to sit there cage side and watch what you gave a gift to anybody watching, and I hope that everyone appreciated it as much as I did. You heal up, stay safe, and hopefully one of these days I get to run into you.
Thank you so much, my friend. And also, what I wanted to say, like, I really appreciate all words what you said to me. It's very, I feel very, you know, very thankful. And if it's possible, maybe we can train together. I can learn from you because you are a very good fighter. You're a high level fighter, and I want to train with you if it's possible.
Anytime we get the opportunity, if you ever find yourself over here on my side of the world, or I find myself over there, I'll make sure we make that happen. And all the words that anybody says about you right now, all the kind words, man, you deserve every bit of it. So you take care of yourself. All right.
Thank you so much. Yes, you too. Thank you so much.
Yep. I want to give a huge shout out to Aiemann and Mark. I really appreciate you guys for coming on. Thanks for giving me some of your time. And yeah, that's it for us for this week. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll see you after the fights this weekend. And check us out next week. We partner with HomoFight Picks to get you the most accurate and well-researched fight predictions. They do all the legwork so you can focus on winning. Picks will be sent directly to your phone via text or email. It's totally up to you. The second we upload them. Use code Lionheart to get 7 free days at winnable.com/HOF picks. That's WINIBLE.com/HOF picks.
Smith.